Action! We're back with Conversations with Deborah, a bi-coastal dialogue with myself, Malcolm Berman, and my good friend, Deborah Manning.
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
Fine, how are you this fine day?
Oh, it is a beautiful day here in Greenville, South Carolina. Once again, I will always consider myself to be a Californian, but I have to tell you, the last couple of days have reminded me quite a bit of California in the good old days.
In the good old
71,
days.
72 to at the very highest, maybe 80 degrees. Beautiful, beautiful weather here. Nice breeze, and we are surrounded. It's amazing. The green here, it's just that such a difference from Southern California with the brown, which of course I love because it's the Golden State. But the green that's here, we're surrounded by 100-foot or so oaks and pine trees, just absolutely spectacular. And the garden, oh my heavens, to check Facebook. I've gotten a lot of response from people. It's taken me 5 years, 5.5 years to get my Monet garden, but I think I finally have it with roses and irises and hyacinths and hydrangeas. It's amazing, and it's the water and it's the great weather that's here in South Carolina. But
Well, you're speaking about greenery, and everybody, for the last 7, 8 years living in New York, I lived in Manhattan, and I
yeah.
lived across the street, Central Park. And
Oh,
talk about greenery.
nice.
And I forget whether it was May or the early part of May, I'm not sure, or mid-May, when the cherry blossoms would
Mhm,
bloom. And
mhm.
I ran the Central Park Reservoir, and on the east side of the reservoir was the cherry blossoms, and they used to fall.
Oh, like
And talk about beauty.
like snow. It must have been beautiful.
Well, that's the last day I was in New York. A friend of mine took me to the what's called the Crystal Palace, where
Mhm.
I'm forgetting the name of it, but it was a Tavern on the Green. Tavern on the Green. It was Crystal Room,
Of course.
and we were sitting on the outside, and it was like the night before I was going to leave to Los Angeles,
Oh
and it
my.
started snowing,
Oh my.
and tears were coming to my eyes because I knew
I
this
can
would be the
imagine.
last snow I saw for a while.
I can imagine.
But
I can
anyway,
imagine.
again, as I told you earlier, I didn't
Mhm.
want to talk about anything serious, and
Okay.
I just life. And
Life is wonderful, especially at our age.
right,
And
and there's a poem that I sent to you. I don't know if it's a poem, and I don't know who wrote it, but it's called "And Then It Is Winter."
yes.
And let me begin. You know, time has a way of moving quickly and catching you unaware of passing years. It seems just yesterday that I was young and embarking on my new life. Yet, in a way, it seems like eons ago, and I wonder where all the years went. I know that I have lived all. I have glimpses of how it was back then and all my hopes and dreams. But here it is, the back nine of my life, and it catches me by surprise. How did I get here so fast? Where did the years go? And where did my youth go? I remember when seeing older people through the years and thinking those older people were years away from me, and that I was only on the first hole, and the back nine was so far off that I could not fathom it or imagine fully what it would be like. And here it is, my friends. And here it is. My friends are retired and getting gray. They move slower, and I see an older person right now. Some are in better, are in better and some worse shape than me, but I see the great change. Not like the ones that I remember who were young and vibrant, but like me, their age is beginning to show. And we are now those older folks that we used to see and never thought we'd become. Each day now, I find that just getting a little slower in a real target for the day. And taking a nap is not a treat anymore. It is mandatory. Because if I don't on my own, if because if I don't on my own free will, I fall asleep where I sit. And so now I enter into this new season of my life, unprepared for all the ashes and pains and the loss of strength and the ability to go and do things that I wish I had done, but never did. But at least I know that I'm on the back nine, and I'm not sure how long it will last. This I know, that when it's over on earth, it's over. A new adventure will begin. Yes, I have regrets, There are things I wish I haven't done, things I should have done, but indeed, there are many things I'm happy I have done. It's all in a lifetime. So if you're not in the back nine yet, let me remind you that it will be faster than you think. So whatever you would like to accomplish in your life, do it quickly. Don't put things off too long. Life goes by quickly. So do what you can do today, and you can never be sure whether you're on the back nine or not. You have no promise that you will see the seasons of your life. So live for today and say all things that you want your loved ones to remember, and hope that they appreciate and love you for all the things that you have done for them all in all the past years. Life is a gift. The way you live your life is your gift to those who come after you. Make it a fantastic one. Live it well, enjoy today, do something fun, be happy, have a great day. Remember, it is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold or silver. Live happy in 2021. Let's consider this. Going out is good, coming home is better. You forget names, but it's okay because some people forgot they even knew you. You realize you're never going to be good at anything like golf. The things you used to care about, you're not as interested in anymore, but really don't care that you aren't as interested. You sleep better on a lounge chair with the TV on than in bed. It's called pre-sleep. You miss the day when everything worked with just an on and off switch. You intend to use more four-letter words. What, when? You notice everything they sell in stores is sleeveless. What used to be freckles are now spots. Everybody whispers. You have 3 sizes of clothes in your closet, 2 of which you'll never wear. Yet old is good in some things. Old songs, old movies, best of all, family and old friends. Stay well, old friend. Send this on. Okay. Stay well, old friend. Send this on to other old friends and let them laugh at agreement. It is not what you gather, but what you scatter that tells what kind of person you are. This was sent in an email to me.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm at that age of the back nine, but especially today, I got in the morning, I got 2 emails which got me into this mood.
Yeah.
One from my niece back east,
Okay.
who I won't mention her name, or her age, but I remember when she was like 10 years old, we went to see Robin Hood, the animated movie from Walt Disney. And
Really?
we waited 10 hours in line. I think it was like opening weekend.
Holy smokes.
Radio City Music Hall.
Oh my goodness.
And she was 10. So if you want to know how old she is now, just go back and see when the movie was released.
There we go.
And then I got another Facebook thing from my niece here. Who, I mean, she's 21.
Oh my.
And this week she graduated Cal State Northridge.
Congratulations.
And I remember distinctly, she went to the same high school as my younger son, Joshua. And she was a freshman and he was a senior. And I remember going to I think it was the first or second week of school, and it was open school night. And me and my wife, Anna, went to open school night. And she was working with some group giving, the programs out. And she came running up to us and she was so excited. And she was a freshman in high school. And I turned around and it's been 8 years.
Yeah.
4 years in college, 4 years in high school. And you go, oh my God.
Yep.
8 years. And the other one, I won't say how many years.
Well, it's funny because you talk about the passage of time. Fish, my husband and I, we've been here for, now we're coming up on 5.5 years. And this is our birthday month. We were both born in May. And he was born only 4 days before me. And
you always liked older men.
yes, of course. But it's been always funny because we look back on those 5.5 years, and as far as we are concerned, it's been, it feels like it's been 6 or 8 months. That's about all. The one thing I can say about getting old, I enjoy having history, but I also am learning how to forgive myself. Forgive myself for not doing things that when I was a kid, it would have been great to have fill in the blank. And I'm learning now, and I'm writing a letter to myself, a forgiveness letter of all the things that I didn't do. And I probably should have a longer letter for all the things that I did do. But it's an interesting time now in both of our lives. And we are good friends. We've known each other for how long now? For what, 15, 18 years?
Uh, Something about that.
It's
Because we
it's
had that show with Tom, your first husband.
yes, with my late husband, and it was called Real Money, and it was a hoot because we did it like the Gracie Allen program, where I was the stupid one and he was the smart one, and it worked out great. We used the Spike Jones for a lot of our information in terms of like mail call and letters to the editor and all of that. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it. And now I'm looking back on all of that, and I'm enjoying my life. I'm glad. I will always be a Californian, as I say, and I'll always be a news reporter, and I'll have all of those things at my fingertips. But I'm learning now, as I say, how to forgive myself, and also how to take it just a little bit easier and to really enjoy the moment. We had lunch out on the terrace and the beautiful sunshine. We had a little salad, little tuna fish sandwich, and we made it a huge celebration. I know it sounds ridiculous, but who cares? We celebrated Sylvester, our big tuxedo cat, came to have lunch with us, and we were listening to the chickens clucking away just down the way in their runs, and just enjoying the moment fully, completely. And it's those moments that I will always treasure, will really learn to treasure.
Yeah,
So
as you know, what you as that thing said, have to enjoy all the moments.
yes,
Every moment is unique unto itself because again, you hear stories, you don't know when it's the last moment.
no,
There was a story the other day about her. I forget where she was. She was walking,
mm,
and a car came out of the garage that was like in the 5 stories and
yeah.
fell on her.
Oh no. Oh
And you
my goodness.
constantly hear stories about just people dying randomly where you think it's random.
Yeah.
So we
Um,
don't know. I've been lucky a lot enough to enjoy my 50 years of life.
yeah. So what was the best thing that happened to you today?
I woke up.
No, no, no. I mean very sincerely. What was the best thing what was a stellar thing so far in your day?
I woke up and I did my exercise and my back didn't hurt.
Very good.
So I'm not sure whether it's the stretching that I'm doing
Yep. I bet.
that did it because I've added some more exercises.
Hmm.
So that made me happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
going back to nostalgia,
Yeah.
also today is Friday and this
Mhm.
Sunday is Mother's Day.
Oh yes.
So that always, I mean, my mother has passed like it's 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember that because she passed away in January and my first son was born in February.
Oh my. Oh
So
geez.
it's, and he's 26 and already 26 and a half. So, and that brings and as I'm running and walking,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm thinking of, the days past and it takes me back into Coney Island
Hmm.
and being a kid. And there's something protective about having your parents
Yeah.
where you know that they're there to take care of you.
Yep.
And
Was there a lesson that you really can remember that your mother or your father, but specifically your mother, taught you? Is there something that she passed on to you that still sits with you?
yeah, there's certain joy she had in singing.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
And she enjoyed singing. As a matter of fact, going, not being too nostalgic, she used to, she's like first generation here from Jewish people back in, I think, Poland. She was born here,
Mhm,
but when she sung songs, she sung a lot of Yiddish songs.
mhm.
And there's an album that they have with Neil Sedaka. Uh, and
Okay.
Neil Sedaka sings Yiddish.
Oh, really? How interesting.
And listen, well, I don't know if it would bring back any memories to you. I think you come from a different background, but he
No,
sings.
but my husband is
Oh,
Jewish, so
yeah,
it's
Fish might be able, but
what?
one of the songs he sings, actually, he sang it on this telethon for Chabad, is My Yiddish Mama, which is
Ah,
not like my mama at all, but
mhm.
it's a Jewish mother.
Oh,
And Sedaka sings all these other popular Yiddish songs that my parents used to sing.
how interesting.
And
That
again,
was, go ahead.
and again, in those days, not that they were. I'm trying to think of what makes them so great. I mean, you feel, I felt protected.
Mhm,
If I failed at something, I had a home to come to.
mhm.
They would take care of me. Now, as an adult, I'm the caregiver. I mean, not the
Yeah.
caregiver, but I'm the one that has the responsibility.
Mhm. It was
But then
funny,
again,
Fish and I, we spent a lot of time outdoors on our terrace, and we were having dinner a couple of nights back, and we were listening to old standards by James Taylor, and it
uh,
was fascinating because the iPad was able to give us the lyrics as well.
hmm,
So the two of us are there singing away these old songs like "Old Man River," which was fascinating. Um, uh, all all kinds of different songs, and it was interesting to listen to it because those would have been the songs that my parents would have listened to, would have romanced to, would have held hands to, and it was very nostalgic because
hmm.
my mother passed away, my goodness, when she was rather young. And I think for me, the lessons that I learned from my mom, I remember that she taught me how to do waitressing, and she was donated her time to childcare in the San Juan Capistrano. And I remember that I was supposed to be the hostess and the waitress, and she was in being the cook and what have you. And I remember seating all of these people, and there was a single woman that I sat, and I ran back to my mom, and she looked over at me and she says, "Okay, so now you have 5 or 6 tables here." And I said, "Gil, this is great. This is marvelous." And she says, "Okay, so which one are you going to be serving first?" And I said, "Well, obviously the people that arrived first." And she said, "No, no, no, you're not." And I said, "What do you mean? What are you talking about?" She says, "You see the single lady over there? I want you to go to the other tables and ask whether they would mind just waiting a couple of extra minutes. I want you to serve her first." I was astounded, and it was very funny because 3/4 of the tables that had 2 and 3 people said, "Oh, that'd be fine, not a problem." And I was able to serve the single woman first, and she was so grateful because apparently she was there alone and had some situation happen to her that was not positive, and yet here I was being able to serve her her tuna fish sandwich and made her day maybe a little tiny bit brighter. But I remember my mom would always say, "Take time to be kind. Take
Definitely.
to be kind." And I just it's always sat with me. It's always been a resounding ring from my mother. And for my dad, he was the one who said, "Don't take shit from anybody." So you got both sides of it, okay? Yin
Yeah,
and yang.
yeah. When I was I think I've said this before. When I lived in Manhattan and
Mhm.
I do my walking and running in Central Park, I used to say hello. If somebody passed and we made eye contact, I would say good morning or good afternoon.
Yeah.
And initially, when they saw me, they looked at me like, "What are you, crazy?" With suspicion. But then when they saw me after a while and they saw me again, they would smile and return, good morning, good afternoon, how are you?
Mhm.
And it's a
That's
matter, people are cautious of strangers. So, but you have to be the first one to make the move. But don't be overt at it, because with in today's world, people are suspicious.
Yeah. But I think you're absolutely right. I know that we go down to a place called Cook Station all the time, and it's really become a local hangout for a lot of business people. And we'll go down and we'll meet all kinds of different people. Um, you may think that South Carolina is completely just filled with Republicans and conservatives and all that. No, 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 not at all. So it's quite a meeting place for a whole variety of different people there. And it's interesting having those conversations. And once again, looking people in the eye, which has always been, I know that when I left Los Angeles, very disappointed because I could not really look anybody in the eye without people looking at me very suspiciously, like saying, do I know you? Is there a problem? No, I just wanted to say hi.
Right.
Nice. Do I know you? No, you don't, but bye.
You know me now.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's fun because going down into the Cook Station and having a place now to finally be able to meet people. We're all still wearing masks and what have you, fully vaccinated and all of that. But the exchange of ideas, I'm finding that there is now a good, solid exchange of ideas. And it was very funny because one of the individuals I'm talking to is obviously a Biden voter. And she asked me who I voted for. And my comment back was, it really doesn't make any difference. We're having a conversation. It has no bearing upon who I voted for. Neither does it have any bearing as to who you voted for. So let's just keep talking about things. And she was going through a very difficult time. And I had given her some advice, which was just to brush it off. Just brush it off, and go on with your life and find the things that you really enjoy doing. And she's in her early 50s. And she said, but I'm afraid I don't know what have you thought about going into becoming a psychologist? I know, but I'm so old. And I said, you're not old. You're not old. You've got a good 20 years ahead of you, for heaven's sakes. And that's the way I feel about us. I know that we're quote unquote old, but we've got some time ahead of us still. There's still a lot to be done. I mean, we're doing right now. There's a lot to be done. We're doing this once a week and we're exchanging ideas, we're exchanging thoughts. There was a beautiful poem that you read, and I hope that a lot of people are going to be able to listen to that and gain something from it, and gain something from the fact that your nieces contacted you on Facebook and shared memories that were important to you, and they should be important to all, because that's what life is all about. It's about a small black cat named Max.
Yeah.
Back out here having a good time.
No, but you're talking about like what you advise your friends. I speak to people, and whether they're 30s or 40s, and they say, no, it's too late for me to do this. It'll take 4 or 5 years. So what I tell them is, okay, let's say you don't do it. Let's say they're 40. I said, let's say it takes 4 years. So when you finish it, you'll be 44. Let's say you don't do it.
Yeah.
How old will you be in 4 years?
There you go.
There you go. I mean, time goes on, you'll be the same age.
Yeah, so, simple. Now, it's funny. It's funny. I'm now being asked by a number of folks to help them do financial planning and what have you, because when my late husband passed away, it was extremely difficult, extremely difficult. I'm writing a book about it, what have you, as to how to financially pull yourself and emotionally pull yourself out of that morass of grief. Because I was married to him for 33 years. But it's been interesting, the practical things that I've suggested to a couple of folks, and they come back to me and they say, it works. And I said, what's really nice? What's really nice for me to pass on to you, and you're in your 30s and your 40s, that I can give you some of those tools to be able to work with, in this case, creditors that were threatening this individual with lawyers and blah, blah, dragons. And, for God's sakes, I said, forget it, call their bluff. And we talked about the practical things about how to call their bluff. And I said, the one thing you don't want to do, however, with your creditor, I said, no, this is an individual. I said, your creditor is a woman. I said, do not make her look bad in front of her boss, but be firm. And you've got to explain your situation and make yourself a human being. You've been through COVID. We've all been through COVID. It's a horrendous situation. So you can ask for some help. And it's very funny. People will give you that help. So she was able to get rid of a tremendous amount of debt at a minimal amount and was able to do it in an honest way and a very forthright way. And she was amazed. And I said, it's one of the gifts that I can give you. That's what my experience has been. And I was very happy to be able to give that. And that's what we need to be able to do, Malcolm. And in our age group, we have that experience. We have that savvy. We have that ability to be able to think things through and not let the fear. It's funny because I have here on my little necklace here, everybody asks me, what are you wearing? And it says faith over fear. And it's
Yep.
true. Faith. Have faith over your fear. And it's been a very fearful time this last year and a half. And I think we still have some of that left to go. But once again, faith and people and talking and working our way through situations and problems and celebrating what we're doing right now. We're celebrating our friendship.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Well, the thing that I always keep in mind, you always have to be nice to people, even when they're rude to you. And many of the times, whether it be now with, of course, with everybody's working out of their home or everybody's busy, and they talk to you and they talk to you, and especially service people.
Yeah.
They talk to you like you ask for something in sort of like a mean tone, and you have
Yeah.
to and then what I think about, can you imagine this woman is on the phone with these people who are unhappy, and they are blaming her for the inefficiency of the system.
Mhm.
Like if you have to wait on the phone or they can't do it, whether it be the phone company or whether it be the electric company, and they
Yeah.
always blame the person that's sitting making the minimum wage on the phone, taking orders or whatever. They blame them for what happened and the inefficiency of the corporation. And
Absolutely.
here
Sorry
they,
to hear our phone because that's our office phone here. I'm sitting here in our office. No, I agree with you. And that's why when you do have customer service people that are really very, very helpful and that do make solutions rather than problems. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm a great letter writer when it comes to that because people need to have that compliment more than ever before. They truly, truly do. They need to have that compliment for good work.
yeah,
They truly do.
well, I'm a phone person,
Mhm,
the written word to me, I don't know how to receive it. I have to talk to you and
mhm.
hear what your response is. Then I could readjust what I'm going to say depending on your responses. That's what, when I was in marketing or sales, that was the thing that I always looked at. I like person to person, meet the person, talk to them, find out what their objections were, and try to see if there was a remedy to that objection.
Yeah, see if there was common ground.
Right, because you write a letter, I write a letter today, it goes out, and a week later the person reads it. Then
Well,
before
I'm
I hear from them,
talking about complimentary letters because I always think, because once again, being a management person that I am, I always like that complimentary letter going into someone's employment file,
right,
their
that's,
job
yeah.
file. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, now it's an email.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it is a different world.
But anyway, are you doing anything for Mother's Day? Is Fish taking you out, or even though you're not his mother?
No, no, no. What's very funny about it is that we'll probably end up staying at home. One of the things that COVID has done is it really has forced us, and I hate to use that word force because that's not really the case, but I've I've been trying to do a lot more recipes and a lot more healthful recipes. So, for example, we'll end up not having meat any more than once every couple of weeks, if that. Mostly vegetables now, and I'm not a vegetarian. I don't want to talk about being a vegetarian, but we end up putting together really interesting meals. And I'm at this point right now kind of preferring to stay here at home. And it's very nice to be able to enjoy your house and I know enjoy the chickens, enjoy the cats and all of that. But that'll be our special day and just enjoying each other. And that's
Yeah.
truly the best gift for me. How about you? What are you going to do for Anna?
Uh, just quiet, brunch at home.
There you go. There you go.
Very similar to you. Well, but all of a sudden the image came to my mind. is
So,
that like in your youth or younger with your husband, either Fish or Tom, for like
yeah,
Mother's Day, he'd take you out or you go on a vacation or you go to a hotel. This
yeah,
seems to be where you live now. This is your hotel. This
it
is
is.
you're almost like on vacation.
It is. That's really funny that you mentioned that because that's one of the things that Fish and I have been talking about is that we're now feeling because we've had this reset as though we are on a kind of a permanent vacation. And you get to the point where you're really enjoying things. I mean, we're doing things like he's a crossword crazy person. He loves crossword puzzles. And for me, I love reading history books. I'll bring you some of the history books that I've been reading. One about George Washington that is just phenomenal, talking about his early days and the American Revolution and what had to be done to be able to earn the freedom from the British. It's phenomenal. It's jaw dropping, and you read the book, and it's very much like what we're going through right now. So there is a little bit of solace for me as I'm reading this book, going, wait a minute, this looks exactly like fill in the blank.
Deborah,
So
I hate to cut you off, but you heard the beep beep beep.
yes,
It's a half hour.
oh no. Did you have a good time this session?
Oh yes, did you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope our audience likes it. I hope we have an audience. I don't even know. I know my friends will listen to it. Tell your friends and relatives.
Will do.
Remember,
Will
it's
do.
malcolmpresents.com,
MalcolmPresents.com.
right? And the show is Conversations with Deborah, a bilingual dialogue. Anyway, have a great Mother's Day. Send my love to Fish.
I will. And my love to Anna.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
All righty. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.